Hi everybody, it's Julia, your trusted travel expert, helping you find that je ne sais quoi wherever you are in the world. And today I wanted to do sort of back up a little bit because I know a lot of people have sort of taken a break from traveling. Some people are kind of coming back to travel, or they just haven't traveled in a while. And so I've had a couple clients ask me some pretty basic questions about getting through the airport. And so since I'm in one of the quietest and smallest and easiest airports ever, I'm in the Aspen airport, I wanted to give you a quick basics 101, airport 101. So when you come in, there are often still curbside check-ins. I never use those because you kind of have to tip them, and I just feel like it's less in the flow, so I never use the curbside. I come right in to the check-in, and there's always like a little kiosk. I'm trying to see it, yeah, right behind me. There are kiosks, and you go to the kiosk and you just punch in your passenger locator number, which is like a 6-digit, usually usually letters, not numbers. And that's your ticket. That's your ticket number. Now, you can wait in line and go to the counter, which obviously here is not an issue, but sometimes the lines are really, really long. So to go to the line, you show your ID. But if you're just checking in, you just can go to the kiosk. Now, you can skip this whole check-in step if you check in online and have an app and are not checking baggage. But if you're checking baggage, you definitely have to do this. There's usually a separate line that says like bag drop, where if you already have your boarding pass, you can scan the boarding pass, print off your bag tag, attach it to your bag, and just drop it off at the desk. And that can get you through a little quicker there. But otherwise, you have to wait in line, and this is usually, in normal circumstances, this is obviously an odd circumstance, early morning, Aspen on a random day before the holiday. Usually this is going to be your biggest chunk of time. After that, you go to security, which again in Aspen is really, really small, but security is your second biggest time chunk in the airport. And if you're in the regular line, you're going to have to be ready to take off your jacket, take off your shoes, have any of your liquids out of your bag, take your laptop out of your bag, all that kind of good stuff. And that's if you don't have any of the government programs or paid programs, non-governmental programs. So TSA PreCheck is your best investment ever. I love it. I hardly know how to travel without it anymore. It's usually a shorter line, but not always. But you get through quicker because you're marked as trusted, and so you don't have to take your shoes off. You don't have to take anything out of your bags. You don't have to take your jacket off and still go through a metal detector or scanner thing, but it just is much faster even if the line is a little longer. Now the third option to get you through security a little faster is a private company called Clear, C-L-E-A-R, and it's only in certain airports. So it's not in either my airport, my home airport, Charlotte. It's not here in Aspen because it's so small, but in big airports like JFK and some other airports, if that's your home airport and they have Clear, that's also a valid or worthwhile investment because that gets you to the front of the TSA PreCheck line. So that's really helpful. So those are sort of how you get into the airport. Once you're through security, go to your gate, eat some food, do some shopping, whatever you want to do. But you definitely want to be there about a half an hour before your flight is scheduled to leave because that's usually when boarding starts. And so, I usually get to the airport an hour, hour and a half, depending on where I'm going. That's how early I get there. I know they recommend 2 to 3 hours, but since I have priority with my airline and I have TSA PreCheck, I usually get through really quickly. But if you don't have either of those things, you definitely want to arrive more like 2 hours ahead. So that's kind of a really quick 101 on getting through an airport. If you have any questions, let me know. Obviously, these days you got to wear a mask. Hopefully we'll get through this soon, but that's it for this week, and I will talk to you next week. Bye.